Hello and welcome back to chapter 20 of Babes After Dark.
Woo! We've got 20 episodes!
Pat on the back. So today, as we've mentioned a couple of times in the past few chapters, we have slightly changed up the way that we're doing these episodes. And today we're bringing you an Unhinged book episode. What that means is you get 2 Unhinged books for the price of 1 because this entire episode will be Unhinged book related.
And it's going to be pure chaos.
There's going to be no organisation.
Unhinged book number 1. We have Fork by Ruth Cordello. Cardello? That's the one. So the blurb. Is that an earthquake, or is your fork happy to see you? Imagine a World War II super soldier and his unit were trapped in cutlery by the government, and the only way they could transform back was to be by being intimate with a woman. Shortly after moving to a new city, Mercedes buys a set of antique silverware from an estate sale and discovers she has a preference for one particular fork. Is the man who appears when the fork disappears real, or a salacious fantasy? If he's real, is he crazy, or could he actually be what he claims to be? Are you open-minded enough to accept him as he is, and fall in love with a fork? Find out how far Mercedes is willing to go to save him and his friends in Spooned and Knived, which are the second and third instalment. Cautionary warning. The spicy scenes in this novella are purely fictional. Please do not attempt to reenact any of them at home. I do not want to hear that my readers, FAFO, forked around and found out. Times hurt. Let's keep the forks on the table where they belong.
That's fair enough. That's fair enough.
So, how did you find reading this one?
So, I've always been traumatised by the Unhinged books that I've read for this podcast. Right? Mm-hmm. I've had balloons.
Yes.
I've had Tetris blocks.
Yes.
This one was...
Was it nice?
It was... Yeah! Which is weird to say!
Did you enjoy this book?
Did you have a good time?
Did you with it? 4-star running book.
Mm-hmm.
Mad.
For a book.
Which right, so
just go straight in balls deep.
So it starts off
no lube. Get in there.
No lubes. So she's moved to this new city. Start on her own. Independent woman. Apart from a cat.
Right. Never mind.
She's brought this antique fork, the like utensil set, and they're all like sterling silver, so they've got a little bit of weight to them. They're nice. It's a nice set. You know, the ones that you bring out for parties.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You like it when you're weighty in your hand.
You know when you've got a good fork and you that
it just feels nice.
And you think, fuck me, that's a good fucking fork.
She literally does that.
So that's what she's got, her favourite fork. And she's sat and she's eating.
Right.
And I'm going to give you a snippet from chapter... I think it's chapter 2.
Oh.
From chapter 2. It goes in with a bang, to say the least.
Right.
The fork in my hand vibrates. Or, my reaction to the idea of another birthday coming around, going alone, is strong, and my hand won't stop shaking. No, the fork's moving. So this fork that's like her favourite fork in the whole wide world just starts vibrating.
Right.
And then, suddenly, there's a man.
Just out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere, there's a man in full, like, you know, like the military garb, but it's suit. You know, the suit ones where they've got all the medals on.
Yeah, they're blues.
Yes. So he's there. You know,
I'm gonna go and check all my hawks.
He's gonna put them all on the table and just
watch. Hello. Hey,
are they vibrating?
And she's just like, who the fuck are you?
Where do you come from?
And he's like, who the fuck are you? But he's like obsessed with her. Completely and utterly obsessed with her. Because he's like, I know you. I know you. And then there's there's like almost no words exchanged, and he just kisses her and he's like, fuck, it's you! Oh yeah, I know that one.
He just plants one on her.
Oh yeah.
Just say, all right. Just
so so it starts off with her chapter, and it goes, so that just happened. I kissed a fragment of my imagination, and I liked it. Really liked it. It was I'm not sure if I can find another man attractive after that kind of kiss. I'm losing my mind. So she thinks he's not real, and that she's just like having a psychotic break. She's
fair
like,
enough.
I mean, I would also think that.
She's like, you're not real. Nope. And he's like,
and then you'll disappear.
He's like, I just want to know what happened. 1 minute it was, I think it's 1945?
He's come straight from the war.
1941. And he's like, 1 minute it's that, and then the next minute it's just like darkness, and then now suddenly I'm me again. What the fuck? So
troubled as a fork.
He's wanted to serve in the army due to the World War. He wasn't able to because he lost his like trigger finger.
Right.
Oh, right, okay.
In an accident of some sort. But then he finds this like mysterious flyer. He goes to this warehouse, and they're basically like creating super soldiers. It's giving Captain America. So they're like pump these guys full of these like serums, and then suddenly he's like, the finger grows back, and he's now like basically Captain America. He can't die. He's super strong, super fast. He can make certain things grow bigger when they need to.
Can you imagine just lying there and you're like, hey, could you just do me a favour and just pump it up one more level, please?
Yeah.
One more level. Oh, no, that was too much. Ask for 1 level, not 1.5.
Yeah, basically.
Down 1.
Basically, that's what happens.
Right.
And then they go shopping for the new clothes because he's still like dressed in his 1940s attire, and she
could be quite concerning.
She's got a major crush on her downstairs neighbour, and the fork, who's now a dude, is like, I'll help you get with him as long as you help me figure out what happened to my team. And she's like, done deal, my dude. Let's do this. But the amount of fork puns that are in this book are crazy.
I need to hear some. Please tell me you've highlighted them.
I've highlighted a couple. So we've got, thankfully, my social life is none of your forking business. And then there's, God, I want to fork me. I giggle nervously. I think those are the two that I highlighted. And then there's also the fact that he doesn't want to sleep with her. Well, he wants to sleep with her. He like really wants to. But he's scared he's going to kill her. Because he's now like super duper strong.
Oh, I thought you meant he'd turn back into a fork and get lost in her.
No.
Yeah.
So
but what he needs is death by thrust.
He does turn back into a fork.
Right.
And he does it because he gets really angry.
Imagine getting so angry you turn into an inanimate.
He gets really angry, and then it's like poof, suddenly fork. but the cat like knocks him under the fridge.
Oh. You can get on the freezer.
Can you imagine? He's like, help me, and this cat's just like,
oh no, I'm
like, what's is a fork? He's a fork. Like, he can't do anything else about it. So then she's like, right, okay, so he's left me. Dickhead.
As you would.
So she then moves on with her life. She's like, you know what? Fuck you. I'm going to do what I need to do for myself. Yeah, fuck you. So then she's now like made friends. The guy that she had a crush on, she's now like busy mates with. No longer has a crush on him.
Right.
Friend zone situation.
Pretty much.
Okay.
But him and his mates are all like dead nerdy, so she's like, oh, I'd love to figure out what actually happened to his squad and to see if he was actually real.
Right.
And then one day her friend finds said fork under the fridge, and she's like, at this point she's like, oh my god, my favourite fork, oh my god, this is great. I'm just gonna read you this bark.
I can't.
So, now wishing I had a dildo to plunge inside of me, I could finally feel what it was like to be fucked. I bite my bottom lip and increase my speed, whispering Hugh's name as I do. Hugh's the fork, by the way.
Okay.
This time, there's no denying the fork is vibrating in my hand. I should be scared. My body is already humming with need, and I'm so close to climax, I don't want to stop. I turn the fork on the tines of my enclosed palm and bring the handle to my clit, expecting the metal to be cold. But it's not. It's warm. Hard. And a damn little jackhammer against my clit. Unfucking believable. So good. I switch hands so I can grip the cushion whilst holding the hand with the fork against me. I spread my legs wider, jutting the vibrating metal tip, wanting so much more than a fork could ever give me. A wave of pleasure rises in me and I give myself over to the heat that spreads through me. Eyes closed, I place the fork next to me on the couch and enjoy post-orgasm float back to the earth. There are perks to living to having a really good imagination. I just fucked myself with a fork and didn't hate it. When
Little Mermaid is going on.
Hold on. When could I be pleased by standards so low? Sex with a real man could be amazing. Now all I have to do is find one that made me feel like Hugh had. 2 strong hands close on my knees and my eyes fly open. Hugh. So,
hello there.
He was a fork.
Of course.
And then turned into a man. And then turned back into a fork because he got angry. And now he's back to a man because she did the kinky fun times with said fork.
So he's a fork.
Yes.
What bit of him did she put on her little button?
The handle.
Yeah, the handle. So it was the handle, but I don't know what part of him that was.
Him is the handle. It could be an elbow for all we know.
I don't know.
I don't think it correlates.
I don't know. But by this point, she's like, oh my god, he was real. I'm not an absolute loony bin.
Of course.
So now,
I like how him being real means that she's not loony. Yet the fact that he turned from a fork into a real man doesn't concern her in any way.
No. So then they're like, right, okay, so we need to figure out, like, you know,
How to keep him as is.
as a yeah, but also what other like crazy superpowers do you have? So he then, like, whenever he gets annoyed at her or whenever he just wants to fuck, he turns himself back into a fork because the only way that he can come back into being a man is if she inserts him.
Wait, so do they only ever sleep together when he's in fork form?
No, no, they
right.
do end up sleeping together when he's in man form.
I can just see him being like, I'm not talking to you, and then spins and turns into a fork.
Pretty much,
Yeah.
that's what happens.
Just purely so he can get his end away.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what happens. And then she is. This is like the end, towards the end of the book, so I'm gonna have to wrap it up because I can't. It's so he says. No, she says, "Can we have children? Would that be safe? Would it be birthing cutlery?" My question takes him by surprise, and he looks suddenly concerned as he smiles. If so, I hope we have a spoon.
First of all,
Teaspoon.
that was a bit of a jump. That was a bit of a jump.
Would it be a teaspoon and then grow into a tablespoon?
Or a dessert spoon.
Exactly. What do you
Serving
call
spoon.
it? A teenager wooden spoon.
She's only just met this fucking fork. This fork turns into a man and she's like, oh, should we have kids, mate?
Oh, so this is sort of like there's like 6 months in between.
Still.
And like she's still also trying to find out where the rest of his team is.
Why? So she
And
can get hammered by all of them.
He has the bright idea of like, oh my god, what if all the rest of them are in this cutlery set?
In the box. Why has nobody thought of that?
So I'll read you this bit. This is the last like section of the book. She asked me if my uncle is still alive. She has some leads and like to follow up on. She wishes she had more information. The she who we're talking about here is one of the friends from the guy who she had a crush on's friend group because they're all like massive tech nerds. And they're like researching into this. Hugh's lips pursed. If it will help find my friend, I'll tell her what I need to, whatever I know. I told her my uncle, I told her it was my uncle who told me about Inkwell. Who would you say you are? We might have to be honest with her. My breath catches. How honest? Is she single? I frown. Why? He taps my nose gently. Not for me. But if she doesn't have a man in her life and is open-minded, we could lend her a spoon. And that's the end of the book. Until I read Spooned.
We could lend her a spoon.
Yeah.
I guess it was the spoon then.
I've not read Spooned yet, but that
I'm gonna guess
it was a wild ride, and I pretty much finished it within a night because I couldn't put it down because I needed to know what happened next. It's 158 pages. So it's like novella sized. Yeah. It's a decent size, but it's just fucking
a proper story.
It's just fucking funny.
I just think it's funny that like he gets mad and turns himself into a fork, and then the cat fucking puts him under the fridge.
Yeah, it's because I think she'd like prepped like a full meal for both of them, like set it all up like a cute little date. She's got the candles going, she's got wine, and she was like, if this is going to happen, I need to run out and get some like condoms. Use protection and all that.
Yeah.
And he basically stormed out because I think he was like, I'm not going to sleep with you. And then she was like, fine, fuck you. I'll go fuck the dude downstairs.
I'd be fuming as well if I was him.
So then he walks back in and sees that. And he's like, what the fuck is going on? Like,
What the fuck? What the fuck?
Yeah.
Was going on?
And he gets that irate that he suddenly blacks out. But when he blacks out, it means he's a fork.
Honestly,
it was a journey.
I don't know what I would do.
It was a journey.
I don't know what I would do. It's
On that note,
but I just think it's mad that you enjoyed it that much. You gave it 4 stars.
It was like the way that it was written, the banter between the two of them. It was just really funny.
Good.
But like because like most of it, he's a dude. He's not a fork. So you kind of just like
you forget that he turns into a fork.
Yeah, you kind of just glaze over it.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this is just a normal romance.
He's just a superhero.
A fork has arrived.
Fine.
Hey, it's no worries.
But other than that, it was really good.
Right. Well, don't go back in your forks.
Yeah, if you fancy a nice little unhinged book that's like a little dip your toe into an unhinged,
Yeah,
sort of like in between, it's a good one.
I'd definitely say that's a dip your toe in and not a
Tetris block.
Or a paperclip.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So then we move on to unhinged book number 2, which is
I'm excited.
Cold Sweat by Vera Valentine. Can't see it.
It's a
Right, the blurb. Being college pressure, Jules heads home to rest, recharge, and figure out a plan before fall break ends. Eager to spend time with her mother and stepfather, there's one presence she's less thrilled about seeing. Red. The sentient smirking picture of Cherry Chill assist punch was a huge pain in the glass. He'd been getting under her skin for 2 years now, ever since their parents' wedding day. Red's taste in entertainment and weirdly suggestive commentary were driving her crazy, a destination she was capable of finding all on her own. With big life decisions looming, his antics shake up Jules's already fragile peace, steering her towards a leisurely evening in her mum's new sauna. It seems like the perfect remedy for stress until Red invites himself along. Just imagine like a picture, just close, steamy.
boy in them shorts.
Close, steamy confines have a way of outing secrets, and Red has a huge one he can't keep on ice any longer. Will Jules be able to resist her thirst for the unknown, or will the truth about her stepbrother refresh her perspective entirely?
I have questions already.
The blurb is just so good.
Is
all of the drink puns?
Is his dad also a drink?
No,
no, just him. And he is.
Is he always going to drink?
Yes, he was born a drink.
How?
Did he sleep with a drink juice box?
So it starts with obviously Jules has moved back home, and obviously her mum is married to Red's dad. So obviously we've got a bit of a step sibling romance going on,
which we love.
Yeah, so you know.
Wow.
And he's like quite flirty with her, you know, and he watches like some weird ass anime porn. And he's always going on when she's in the room, and you know, and she's just constantly pissed off with him and blah blah blah. But
I love the fact that like a picture is watching porn. Like, does it have hands?
He's got hands. He's got glass hands.
Gotta be careful with them. I bet they can't grip.
All is glass.
Yeah, but how does he like lay down and not all of his insides fall
Yeah.
out?
He has to keep topping his juice up from the fridge. You know the little drinks thing?
Does he just like go over and just nudge his head?
Yeah, and then he presses it, and you know the ice where it makes ice in your fridge? He's got to keep it full.
What happens at night when he lies down and it all empties?
I guess we'll never know because it don't say whether he goes to sleep or not. So anyway, Jules knows that he's a jug. He just walks around and all you can hear is, you know, when you've got ice in your glass and it's ding, 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 ding. She said he's like a wind chime.
Can't sneak around, can he?
He just, you know, ding, 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 ding. Oh. So, obviously, we find out how Red has come about. So, a giant sentient glass pitcher of cherry chill assist punch. Red was the result of Dan's, so Dan is his dad. Torrid affair with a pallet of the drinking powder at a drunken office Christmas party many years ago.
What the fuck?
If you drink too much, you end up sprouting a jug.
Oh my god! So
He's got too much.
So he fucked a pallet of like Kool-Aid.
Powder.
Yeah, the powder. And the powder sprouted red.
So, obviously,
Hang on, wait a minute. Does that mean that the juice inside red?
what?
Does that mean that the juice inside red? Because if you think about
It's
the powder, but you put the powder and liquid to make red, so that means that red is essentially his dad's jizz
Yes.
mixed with. So they have jizz in the fridge to top them up with.
You know. I'm a little bit powder. So, Jules' mum and Red's dad, right? They go on little date night, right? I don't know how all these are just getting on with the fact that like there's just
His
a
jug.
massive walking round. So obviously they, you know, go on a little date night, blah blah blah, and sort of Jules and Red decide to go in this new sauna together. You know, as you
I can't see how Brooke thought that was the jug, Red, whatever his name is.
yeah.
Thought that was a good idea, considering that he'd probably fucking evaporate.
Yeah, that's.
But I'll let you continue.
Well, they end up in said sauna, and they end up getting trapped in the sauna because a branch of a tree falls and jams the door shut.
How unfortunate.
I know, like, who knew? So they sat in there, and obviously he starts to confess how he feels about her. Like, he's like, oh my god, I've had this like crush on you for however long, and so nice. And she's like, whoa, we're step siblings, it's weird. And he's like, step siblings, Jules, and barely that. It's not like we grew up together. I'm a man that happens to be a glass pitcher of liquid, not blind.
He's also not a man. He's a jug.
So obviously she is just a bit, you know,
Taken aback.
yeah.
Weird.
She's like, okay, no worries. And
I have another question. Does she taste the forbidden juice? Does she slurp out of his pitcher?
yes,
Like out of the top or out of the...
out of the straw at the bottom. So she's obviously asking questions, and she's like, "Oh, do you have a thing down there? Are you glass all over? And does it like function?" And he's like, "The answer's yes. It's all glass. I'm fully functional. Thank you very much. My exes have never complained. Quite the opposite, honestly. Who is banging
Who is dating this jug man?
Just walking down the street, like, oh, that's a fit looking jug.
Look at that fucking bowl on that jug."
Go out on a date.
Because like all I can envision is the Kool-Aid man.
Yeah. Just So obviously he says to her, "I'd offer to show you what it looks like soft, but I'm afraid that's not possible at the moment."
Wait, how does he go soft if he's glass?
Maybe it just
Shrinks.
Yeah, like when glass melts, when you're melting glass and it goes blue.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe it does that.
Maybe.
And it just So anything,
Maybe.
all this one thing leads to another. The heat's getting to him. He's rock hard all over. So obviously he slips a finger in. He's only got 4. He's not got a thumb. He's only got 4.
Oh, it's giving Mickey
Whoa.
Mouse.
Whoa, this is not okay. That's the ickiest thing I've heard in this entire thing.
Not the forks, not the jugs, the 4 fingers.
No fuck. What the fuck?
So he slips a little one of them in, and she's for some reason she's all for it. She thinks she's having the best time.
She did a quick one.
And he says, "I swell when I come, Jules. So be ready for it. You're a tight fit, but you're going to take it all, aren't you? I'm going to fill you up to the top, my good little cup." What in the
Hold on. I'm gonna have to you know what I'm gonna have to add? Fucking thrush count. Because you're not meant to put juice up there.
You can't put the juice up there, but he's...
And I'm sorry, but I've never heard anybody refer to a fucking vagina as a cup. Let me fill your cup, darling.
Yes. For out that fill thy cup. More, sir. So obviously, he's in there. He's rim deep at this point, and she then holds onto his rim.
Around the top.
Yeah. So he says, "Just like that, Jules. Fuck. Squeeze it. My rim is sensitive."
She's like, hanging on for dear life.
Yeah. And then she...
How big is this guy? Is he human-sized?
Yeah. He's like jug body.
With legs and arms.
And his face is on the jug.
Mm-hmm.
And then obviously they're still doing the deed. He's just doing the deed, and he turns around and says, "You're gonna fucking drain me, Jules. I'm gonna quench." Quench. Fucking quench.
What the fuck?
I'm gonna quench.
Oh my god.
Are you thirsty, love? Here, have some quench.
Have some of my quench.
Oh, but I will say one perk could be, imagine being in bed and your water bottle's empty. You'd be like, "Babe, can I just
Have a quick tipple.
At the top. You've got
Yeah.
some ice cubes, right?
He's got loads. The tinkling around at this point. So obviously they've done the deed. It's red hot, you know. So they're still stuck in sauna, and she is so thirsty. She is truly parched.
On her deathbed, parched.
So obviously, he's like, "Oh, you can try and have a drink if you like. I have lots of juice." And she's just, is it your blood or is it? It can't all become right. Oh my god, I'm going to have the worst UTI. I'm glad somebody's realised.
Yeah, she thinks about that now, not before.
Oh no, it'll just be afterwards. You know, and she's obviously having a panic. She's like, you know, oh, I'm so thirsty, blah, blah, blah. And he goes, Jules, relax. It's fine. I'm sugar free. I promise. It's not blood, it's just me, I guess. It's come to, at least when I get off. I have to jerk off in the shower all the time so I don't tie dye my sheets, and it's a pain in the ass. But it's definitely not, you know, gross stuff. Sugar free! I'm sugar free!
Hey, at least you have to pay sugar tax, you know?
Do you think he has to top up his packets?
Yeah! He's got, whenever he shoots his juice, he's got to keep filling it again.
No, but like, you know, he has to fill it up with water. Do you think he has to put the packets in to keep the colour?
Otherwise, it'd be dead. Like, eventually, it'd just get so diluted, it just ended up being water.
It'd
Do you
just
think
be water.
do you think he can change his colours? Like change his flavours?
Maybe.
Oh no, because his name's Red, though. Wouldn't be right.
No, because sometimes you just want a different colour, don't you?
Yeah, you just want a little different flavour, don't you?
Don't want red today, I want blue.
Yeah. So
Maybe, yeah.
she's having a little, you know, like a hamster. You know, with a hamster water bottle. So he's right. That's right, Jules. Suck me down like the thirsty little cup you are. He also says, do you realise how often I'm going to have to top up my punch now? I'm going to pump so much into you, pour it all over you, every fucking chance you give me.
It sounds like he just needs the fridge attaching to his head so he can just, like...
Do you reckon she can go inside him?
Sit.
Like, jump in
Yeah.
Maybe.
from inside?
Yeah.
Just bop,
Like, she
just bop
can
right
absorb it through her pores.
Yeah.
Oh, so they do all that in the shower, in the sauna, and then somehow magically they get out of the sauna.
The tree just magically
That's
disappears.
it,
Yeah.
you know. They just get out, and then they end up in the shower. He bends her over the unit, and he's, you know, and then he has to go and top up his juice again because it's empty, it's run out. So, and then they're like, "Oh my god, look at the predicament we've got ourselves in." You know, we're
Beginning to
I
agree.
agree. We're step siblings. I am a jug. What do we do? And he goes, let's move in together.
Didn't they already live together?
Yeah, so she's after dropping out of college, and he's like, oh, well, we could just move in together.
But what does a jug do for work?
He works at a thingy, like a demolish, like, you know, like a, where they fucking demolish shit.
The
Why doesn't he
actual
just pour
fuck.
Why doesn't he just walk around the restaurant pouring drinks by, like, wanking in everyone's cups? Refill.
Do you want extra juice? It's sugar free.
No sugar
I
tax.
promise you, it's not weird shit.
I promise it's not the gross stuff.
We Can you imagine like a proper like classic American diner, just like with everyone sat in like their booths and everything, and he's just walking down real slowly, like
He just puts the tip on somebody's glass and fills it up.
Do you think he can fill himself up with like Pepsi Max?
Probably. I don't know.
You guys,
Yeah, I don't know what happens if like he's fully empty.
I don't know.
he probably dies.
Maybe.
Yeah.
You just have a large jug at that point.
It'd just be an empty jug, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
And I think that kind of takes the shine. I think it's not as fun when he's empty.
That's it. That's what they all say. So yeah,
Where?
that was a joke.
Wow.
Yeah.
We've had a Vera Valentine book before, haven't we? Did she write
She did the book, the
The
doll.
doll one. Didn't she
Uh,
also do Stuffed?
Maybe.
she's done one of them.
It does say at the back, I think. Because
I'm sure Squeak was Vera Valentine.
who's just out here doing them sentience.
Squeak.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it was Squeak.
Oh yeah, she's done Easter Bunny Aliens and Balloon Peeps and a doll.
Nice.
That doll one was a journey.
I've not read it.
Yeah.
Don't plan on reading it.
Yeah.
It's,
We didn't have it in the pod either.
No.
It's a lot.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
Well, that was a ride in itself, I think.
Yeah.
It was. I feel like having episodes dedicated to unhinged books, these are just like our chaos episodes.
Yeah. These are really fun to do. Like, really fun.
I can just chat their shit at this point.
Yeah.
Literally. And we've got another one coming next month. So
We
stay
do.
tuned.
And if you'd like to see more of us and keep to update with all of our shenanigans that we do.
That's what we get up to.
Oh, yeah. You can follow and subscribe to us on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Spotify, and YouTube. We are everywhere. And on that note, we will see you next week.
Stay hydrated.
Peace out.